Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing a video I'm so excited about. I asked all of you who follow me on Instagram what some of the worst diet or weight loss advice you've ever heard was. Got some great responses, and we're gonna go through all of those and kind of break down the science behind them and maybe why they are the worst weight loss advice ever. We've got a good handful of them. I want to first start off by saying that I am a dietitian that believes that weight loss is an appropriate goal for some, not for everyone, and it's all about the why behind wanting to lose weight. And usually finding that why keeps you going long term also, so that can be very helpful as well. All right, let's jump right in. I'm going to read these off as I have them on my Instagram. We're going to start with one that is pretty big right now, and that is the apple cider vinegar trend. So this has been going on for a few years actually, because back in my days when I didn't know, what was good advice and what wasn't, I thought that apple cider vinegar was the thing to do. I would drink it in like this weird cranberry concoction. It was disgusting. I would choke it down thinking it would lead to a substantial amount of weight loss, which was crazy in the first place because I had no reason to be losing weight. But what apple cider vinegar is, it's a vinegar made by fermenting the sugar in apples, and that turns into acetic acid. And so acetic acid is what is researched and what is thought to be the magical ingredient in apple cider vinegar. You may have seen the gummies. Those are like the next big thing. Celebrities are all endorsing them, saying how great they are for fat burning, metabolism boosting, all that kind of stuff. So we're going to break down if that really does, if it really does work. But you can get apple cider vinegar in either the filtered or the unfiltered version, and the unfiltered version is the one that contains the mother. And this unfiltered version with the mother is claimed to have more protein, more enzymes, more good bacteria, and so that is why it is thought to have those beneficial effects. So there are claims that apple cider vinegar can aid in weight loss, managing your blood glucose levels, help with heartburn, inflammation, all of that. We're only going to go into its effects on weight loss since that's the point of this video, but I will be sure to write a good old blog post about apple cider vinegar and its effect on other health components as well. So first of all, there are very few human studies done on apple cider vinegar. There are a handful done on rats, but as we know, it is hard to translate how that actually works in humans. And so that makes it really murky what the actual effect is on apple cider vinegar and metabolism, appetite suppression, fat deposition. Those are kind of the claims that it has, that it'll help you, not feel hungry anymore, so you eat less and therefore lose weight. It'll help with burning fat, but the results are pretty unclear because, again, these studies are only done in rats, and because they're very few and very not strong, they're not very significant. There was one study done on humans put out by the Journal of the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics, and this study showed that the participants who did drink the apple cider vinegar ate less calories throughout the day, but it's hard to know if that was from the apple cider vinegar. I'm willing to bet that just the taste of it is unpleasant on its own. I speak from experience there. And so that by itself may have caused some nausea, making you, of course, not want to eat. So it's hard to know if it is from the enzymes, the proteins that are in the apple cider vinegar, or if it's just from the flavor of it and kind of that effect there. Bottom line is, since I do follow an evidence-based approach when working with clients, apple cider vinegar is not going to be the first thing I recommend for weight loss. There is a big pool of research out there that supports other weight loss tools other than just sipping on some vinegar, so I think I'll be sticking with those. And of course, there are some risks that come along with just drinking vinegar. First of all, drinking it straight can irritate your throat, strip your tooth enamel. There are some other risks as well. If you suffer from gastroparesis, which is delayed emptying of the stomach, apple cider vinegar may worsen those symptoms. If you have diabetes, and especially if you're on diabetes medication, apple cider vinegar can impact your insulin response. And so it's just best to work with a healthcare team if you are planning on taking any kind of apple cider vinegar while on diabetes meds. And speaking of meds, apple cider vinegar can also interact with other medications such as diuretics. So again, kind of steer clear there. Ask your doctor if you're unsure. And lastly, we don't know the long-term effects of taking apple cider vinegar. It is kind of a newish trend, and so it's hard to know what would happen if you were to do it every day for a long period of time. So if you do like it, I recommend mixing it with olive oil, putting it on your salad as a dressing, or making it into a marinade for some meat, making some pickles out of it, but sipping it straight probably isn't giving you the benefits that you're hoping for. Okay, next one we're gonna go into is the Hydroxycut supplements. Big eye roll there. So first of all, Hydroxycut is a whole line of supplements. They have more than just one product. And right off the bat, I just want to remind you that supplements are not required to be reviewed by the FDA. So what is on the label might not actually be in the product. It is always good to look for third-party testing when taking supplements, and Hydroxycut is not one of those. Supplements are a pretty difficult subject. I plan on doing an entire video on supplements because it can be kind of tricky knowing what to use, what's safe, what's not, how to even know what is necessary. But the good news is the FDA can take legal action if necessary, which they did have to in 2009 when Hydroxycut was recalled due to many accounts of liver poisoning. The active ingredient at this time was ephedra, and this ingredient has since been banned to be used in supplements. So since then, Hydroxycut has changed their formula, but even since then, there have been some reports of their current formula causing negative side effects. And so, speaking of their current formula, what the biggest active ingredient is caffeine. And the way in which caffeine may aid in weight loss is that it is thought to increase your metabolic rate. But the problem with caffeine is that you can become tolerant to it, and so having this supplement, having that increased metabolic rate will only last for a short period of time before it starts to kind of become not as effective. And you know, caffeine gives you energy, and so you gotta wonder if taking the supplement, getting that 200 milligrams of caffeine just makes you wanna go to the gym more, gives you more energy to focus on your lifestyle habits or lifestyle changes. And so when you're pairing this supplement with diet and exercise, which is recommended, of course, you know, just taking caffeine by itself isn't going to do anything. You gotta wonder if the effects you're seeing are from the diet and exercise or if they're from the Hydroxycut. I'm willing to bet, even if you stopped the Hydroxycut but kept going on with your new diet and exercise habits, that the weight loss would probably keep happening. So the other active ingredients in Hydroxycut are all herbal, things like lady's mantle extract, wild olive extract, and wild mint extract. And so while there are no studies done that test Hydroxycut specifically, there are studies done that kind of test these different ingredients. Most of these herbal ingredients aren't tested thoroughly or over a long period of time, and so it's hard to say if their safety is definite or not. So sure, you may lose weight while taking the supplement, but that is likely to the diet and exercise changes that you made along with it. And taking the supplement by itself without making any other changes is not going to lead to any sustainable results. Lifestyle changes are needed for sustainable weight loss, and unfortunately, a tablet, a gummy, or a powder isn't going to Hydroxycut it. Okay, the next one, I am just like, what? Not eating cooked vegetables, only eating raw vegetables. That one I didn't even waste my time looking up on the internet to kind of learn more, because I know that that's not a thing. Eat cooked or raw, I don't care. Neither of them are going to impact your weight loss more than the other. Okay, big one here. I think a lot of you guys just sent me this to egg me on a little bit. I talk about this a lot, and I've made Instagram posts about it, and I always have to deal with it every day talking to patients and clients, but the keto diet. Oh, the keto diet. So I don't know how long this video is going to be lasting into the internet, but hopefully the keto diet is no longer a thing when this is being watched 5 years from now by some person who is hoping that their weight loss goals are going to be achievable. I don't know. So the keto diet is a very low carb diet with the goal of using fat for energy instead of carbs. And this diet is pretty controversial, especially among dietitians versus other healthcare professions. The keto diet was actually originally created to treat epilepsy in children, so how it became a weight loss fad, I have no idea, but I do wish it would go away. I'm quite frankly just tired of it. And it's also controversial because a keto diet is different from a low carb diet. The keto diet is very low carb, and that's how you reach ketosis, is by eating very, very low carb. If you are eating a low carb diet, eating some carbs, you aren't reaching ketosis and your body is not using ketones for energy. Your body is still using carbs for energy. The other problem is that keto also restricts your protein intake, because proteins will be used for energy if carbs aren't available via a process called gluconeogenesis. And so if you're not eating many carbs or much protein, you're probably eating just a whole lot of fat. And that's not to say that dietary fat is bad for you. Things like nuts and seeds, oil, avocado, peanut butter, those foods are all great for you, but the issue is that the keto diet emphasizes a lot of more saturated fats as well. Butter, bacon, coconut oil, cream, that sort of thing. And again, if you know me, if you've been following me on Instagram for any amount of time, you know that I preach all things in moderation, but it's scientifically proven that high saturated fat diets do lead to cardiovascular issues. And so eating this way, even though you might lose weight pretty quickly, it's probably not going to be best for your overall health, including your lab values. It's also important to point out that there's nothing wrong with carbs. Carbs don't inherently cause weight gain. They don't make you fat or whatever you're scared of carbs for. They're not bad for you. In fact, carbs are essential. They give us energy. And so our body's always trying to protect itself. And so if you don't eat carbs, if you are doing the keto diet, you're probably gonna feel like crap, especially at first, because your body is trying to perform without an essential macronutrient. You also aren't eating probably much fruit at all. There's only some veggies you can do, and even at that point you can only eat so many before going over your carbs. So you're missing out on fiber, so many different vitamins and minerals. You can't have whole grains, so you're missing out on those vitamins, minerals, and fiber as well. And going back to weight loss, the whole point of this video, yes, you will likely lose weight with the keto diet because you're eliminating an entire nutrient, and so it makes sense that you're eating less than you burn, so you lose weight. But the issue is, once you inevitably go back to eating those carbs and eating like normal, you're gonna put the weight back on, because for most people, keto is not sustainable. Now, if you can eat that way for the rest of your life and your body's okay with that, your lab values aren't gonna put you into cardiac arrest, go for it. It's all about finding what's gonna work for you long term. And so if keto is only going to be a short-term solution, then it probably isn't going to be what you should be doing. Okay, enough about keto. I could go on for hours about that one. So the next one, I actually laughed out loud because I did a whole presentation on this in college, and that is the maple syrup diet, or the lemonade diet. It's also referred to as the Beyonce diet because Beyonce did it when preparing for, I think it's Dreamgirls, and it helped her lose a significant amount of weight. And then of course she has a cult following, and so everyone thought it was just the thing to be doing. You may also remember this diet from The Office.
Just leave me alone!
Gonna look amazing. So what the maple syrup diet is it's an all liquid diet used for weight loss and detoxification. Listen here, if you've got kidneys and a liver and some lungs, your body's probably detoxing just fine. You don't have to put yourself through this ringer just to help it detoxify more. That's not gonna help. In fact, it's gonna have enough negative effects that it's probably gonna make things worse. So for this diet, there's a whole ritual you have to follow to do it the right way. You have to start each morning with a saltwater flush, which includes 2 teaspoons of non-iodized salt. I don't know what's wrong with iodine, but we're not gonna get into that. 2 teaspoons of non-iodized salt to a quart of lukewarm water. And then you are gonna have to increase the salt if there is not several eliminations within the next hour. So basically you lose all this weight because you just poop your pants for 10 days. And then after you do the saltwater flush in the morning, you have to drink 6+ lemonade mixtures each day. And so this lemonade mixture consists of 2 tablespoons of lemon or lime juice, 2 tablespoons of maple syrup, 1/10 of a teaspoon of cayenne pepper, and 10 ounces of water. So if nothing, at least this diet is hydrating you. I like to hear that. But the only calories you're getting from that is from the maple syrup, and even that's only 2 tablespoons, which I guess if you do 6 of those a day, that's 12 tablespoons of syrup. But still, there's no protein, there's nothing. So yeah, you're gonna lose some weight because you're gonna be pooping yourself and because you're not eating hardly enough calories. You're not hardly eating any calories. So we've got the saltwater flush in the morning, and then we've got 6+ lemonade mixtures, and then we end the day with a herbal elimination tea. Yes, please. So that's just a laxative. That's all it is. So you do this whole ritual for 10 days, and then after the 10 days, you're allowed to do juice and soups and raw fruits and vegetables. And then even after those 10 days, so 20 days total, it still is suggested that you do very little meat and dairy. So pretty much no protein for at least 20 days. So if you've been bulking at the gym, I wouldn't recommend doing this diet because your gains are gonna be diminishing. So I feel like I don't have to explain too much why this diet is just ridiculous. No protein, very, very, very low calorie to the point of being dangerous. Your intestines are going to be just cursing you. And even though Beyonce did it, that doesn't mean it's the right thing to do. Okay, the next few I'm just gonna breeze through because they all have the same bottom line of why they suck. The next few diets are just different variations of reducing how many calories you eat. However, the glaring issue with all of these is that they're not sustainable. So sure, you will probably lose weight, but the issue is that once you go back to your normal eating habits, the weight's gonna come right back on, and sometimes then some because your body's trying to play catch up. So first one kind of relates to the lemonade diet, and that's a juice detox. Again, if you've got essential organs, you're detoxing just fine. But how long are you actually gonna be juicing for? Because sure, if you're gonna juice for the rest of your life, then those results might be sustainable, but that life is probably gonna be pretty short-lived. So the next one is the bacon diet, which I'm guessing you either just eat bacon and that's it, or you just eat a lot of bacon. And I'm guessing if it's the part where you're only eating bacon, then yeah, you're probably gonna lose weight because again, you're eating less than what your body needs calorie-wise, because how much bacon can you truly eat without getting sick? Another glaring issue with this is the pity that I have for your cardiologist, who you are definitely going to be seeing in the near future if you are only eating bacon. So the next one I wanna go over is the military diet, which is described as a 3-day diet that helps you lose 10 pounds in a week. But I think it would be better described as the 3-day diet that helps you lose 10 pounds in a week and then gain 15 pounds back after that week is over. Okay, I also want to touch on the gluten-free fad. Thanks to a friend of mine who has celiac disease, so when she eats gluten, it physically harms her, and the rest of you are just avoiding it to lose weight, which isn't effective. So first of all, gluten is a protein. People often think that it is a carb. It is not. It is a protein that is found in things like bread, pizza, pasta, that sort of thing. And if you have celiac disease, your body will have a response to eating gluten. And sure, if you have that response and you have celiac disease or even gluten sensitivity, don't eat it. But if you're just avoiding it because it's the healthy thing to do or because it will help you lose weight, then you're missing out on some really great foods, because gluten does not automatically lead to weight gain. Nothing wrong with gluten. Eat gluten. Gluten's amazing. So I know I just spent the entire video talking about what doesn't work for weight loss, so you're probably like, what actually does work then? And that is a very good but loaded question. Unfortunately, it's not as easy as calories in, calories out. If that was the case, obesity would not be at the rate that it's currently at. Obesity and just weight in general is very multifactorial. There's social influence. There is your access to food that plays a role, or your economic status. The way you were raised impacts your drive and reaction to foods. Your mental health plays a large role. And this is why working with a healthcare team, including a dietitian, is usually the best approach if intentional weight loss is your goal. Woo! Okay, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I know that was just a lot of negativity, but I do it all in good fun. I know there is so much nutrition misinformation out there, and that is why I do this kind of thing, these kind of videos, is because I want to kind of get you through the weeds and help you understand that nutrition is not black and white. So if you have any other crazy diets or fads or any other advice you've ever heard that you're wondering about, let me know in the comments below. I would love to review more of these crazy things and help you better understand what's scientifically sound and what is not, because there is just so much information out there, it's hard to know. Thank you again for watching. I can't wait to make more videos like this one. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.